Hey, friends, welcome to weekly update here at the Episcopal Mission of Warren County. Father Matthew here, Vicar of Trinity and St. Francis, our congregations in Warren County, with a little bit of news for you as we try to keep you updated on things going on. Uh, First, we are celebrating our Cancer Care Center donations. We made the official drop off yesterday, although I have news. We have a couple more items coming in that I'll go over. And tomorrow in our e-news, you'll get to see some pictures of our drop-off. Special thanks again to parishioner Deanne Thomas for helping coordinate that ministry and connect us with the need, and for all of you who've made those donations and helped gather items for the cancer care patients. And so glad to know we can help out in that way. You can see the picture tomorrow. A couple of the news items. Dawson Convention is going to happen next week on Thursday evening. We've moved to a all virtual convention this year, again with the COVID spike, and a little more news about that in a second. Just too much for us to risk bringing so many people together. And while we do miss that opportunity, especially the Dawson leaders and all the leaders of the congregations who really enjoy being around one another, it's for the greater good that we decide to once again commit to an online convention. Good news about that is we'll be able to, those of us going, myself, our delegates, the Chases, and anyone else, actually, if you're interested, let me know, can attend next Thursday night and watch the service, watch the business meeting, and hear the bishop's address. And then also, I understand the video will be available online after. So we'll be linking to that so you all can hear from the bishop as he addresses the diocese. So keep us in your prayer, keep the church in your prayer. We are, after all, working together to follow Jesus in our ministry here. And we in the Episcopal Church certainly turn to our identity as part of a diocese for some of that strength and encouragement and support. So next week we'll have convention. Finally, I mentioned COVID still surging. A little bit of an update. I was saying in some leadership circles over the last couple of weeks, I'm actually getting a little encouragement. It seems like the numbers may be peaking and coming down. Unfortunately, the numbers this week do not show that trend continuing. We are just almost the same level of a 7-day total that we had 2 weeks ago at the high point. So, unfortunately, COVID is still with us. And that means I need to encourage you, please wear a mask, practice distancing, wash your hands. This is not something to be fooled around with. Our hospitals, especially in the cities, Erie, Jamestown, Pittsburgh, they're being overwhelmed with patients who are in deep need. You may at this point already know folks in your family who've had medical things delayed or problems getting medical access because of the flood of patients. So please, whatever you can do to stay COVID free and COVID safe, please do. And please do inform us if anything has come near your home so we can pray for you. We are keeping a few families in prayer at this point who are either nervous about COVID or who are now working through it. So please, please stay safe. And hopefully, we can look forward to COVID abating and having what I hope will be a Christmas time together. But we'll need to first get past this Delta variant. Okay. Finally, we always close with our Ask a Priest segment. I'm delighted to get some of your questions. Please do text them. You can private message them back to me on Facebook or YouTube. Email me at the church, or just catch me on the phone. It'd be great. But these questions are great. This week's question comes from the Altar Guild, who wanted me to talk about the red candle. If you've been in our worship spaces and noticed it, there's a red candle behind Trinity's altar, up right next to the tabernacle. And at St. Francis, the red candle is over on, well, if you're facing the altar, on the left side. Wait, you need me to point that way. Your left, my right. And it is a light that has several names and traditions around it. I've heard it referred to as a sanctuary light, although I've heard other things referred to in that way. And I've also heard to it as the candle of the presence, the candle of the presence. And it is a symbol, a sign of Jesus's presence in the worship space, most especially because we in the Episcopal Church feel that somehow mystically, when we consecrate the elements of communion, when I pray over them, we all pray together and then consecrate the bread and the wine to be the body and blood of Christ, that we believe somehow mysteriously he is now actually there present. We don't get tied up in exactly how, but he is really there. And we then reserve some of that sacrament in our tabernacles, in those storage spaces you see behind or next to the altar. That candle is a sign of his presence, that we are actually storing him. We are actually worshiping and adoring him at all times when we're in the room. And so whenever you see the candle lit, it's a reminder of Jesus' presence, hence the term presence, the candle of the presence. And I hope you would take a moment whenever you see that light to think, maybe pray for a moment, And this is one of the reasons why we approach our sanctuary spaces with such reverence. We truly believe that Jesus is with us, that his mystical presence joins with us in worship, and our sacred spaces are set aside for that purpose. So please consider that next time you're in. Also, a little note, just one last little piece of tradition. There is one day a year where the candle goes out. Depending on how we observe Holy Week, there is a day, either Good Friday or good after the service of Good Friday into Holy Saturday, that we do not have the candle lit, both in honor of remembering that day when Jesus was dead and in the tomb, but also our need for him to return and come into our lives. So either on Maundy Thursday or sometime on Good Friday, we consume the rest of the elements reverently, then we put out the light, and the light is out. And we often also leave the tabernacle doors open as a reminder that Jesus has left, and we are trying to remember what it is that there was a day when God left us, and now we look forward and celebrate every day his return to us and his presence in our lives, in our bodies, in our spiritual lives, and hopefully forevermore. So, candle of the presence, the red candles, or the sanctuary light, may it always burn. Peace to you all. Hope you're having a great week. Please be in touch. And again, send those questions in so I can keep answering your questions. They can be bits of trivia or deep ones. If you're struggling with something theologically or come upon a reading in scripture that you want to know more about, send me your question. I'd love to answer it and let other people in on the learning too. God bless. See you soon.